Okay, so before I start the subject I want to talk about in this video, so I just wanted to point out and explain why I've not been doing vlogging for a while now. I mean, if you are constant with the watching videos I upload, you see that most of the ones I do upload these days are the pictorial videos. This one, the vlogging, like what I'm doing right now, it takes a lot of effort, to get such videos published. You capture, you you transfer to your system, your laptop, and then edit. Because of the quality of the camera I'm using is a Sony action camera, I've forgotten the model, SMT blah blah blah. So it's high quality. That's all. I don't edit the picture or the quality at all. So what I do is I just reduce the size, which takes a while. So because of that, it takes sometimes days for me to publish video, YouTube channel or any other platform that I want to upload and publish it there. So unlike the pictorial one that I could just do within 5 minutes, I'm done with the video. The video, I'll just upload it. However, this one to me make more sense. However, that pictorial one too, it also does make sense depending on the subject or nature of what I want to talk about. There are some things that you see, I'll be showing the pictures while explaining. So it all depends. Well, I'll try and do more of these. I'll just try and make out time. I enjoy doing this one anyway. Just that it comes at a cost. I spend more in terms of even the cost of the data, because they do this type of video consumes more. It has more volume, so in terms of we have to burn data to upload. Anyway, that's for it. So I'll do the best I can. I know the other things I do, like articles. Sometimes articles I actually do enjoy, preparing and publishing them. Sometimes they do have more information than the videos. The videos, as you are talking, some of the things will skip your mind. You won't be able to mention certain things unless you have a bullet point you'll be looking at, which most I don't do. So, but the article, as you are putting your thoughts down, by the time you go back to read through, you remember, oh, I need to put this information is important, I need to add it. So it makes sense, but then it takes time, consumes time too. I know some people have given feedback that they enjoy my articles more. Some said, in fact, they enjoy more than the videos, that they like my style, of the way I talk on the articles and the way. But then it cost me too, because I had to make out time, hours. Sometimes it takes about 2 days to complete. So all these things takes time. It's not like I'm being paid. It's a different thing when you're being paid doing these things. So I'm doing them for free. So sometimes I have to. We'll see how it goes. But my point is, I think I'll start doing more of these videos the best I can. Okay, so let's get going while we're on it. So what I want to talk about in this video is about manual transmission and the oil, because I know quite a number of people make this mistake. It's not just where I stay in Nigeria, but mostly where I stay in Nigeria. People don't really, they focus only on the engine. When you ask somebody, he will tell you, oh, the engine, the oil quantity, his engine consumes 5 liters, 4 liters, 3 liters, whatever. So that's what they focus more on. But when it comes to transmission, manual transmission, because I know I've also done videos several times on the automatic, the quantity. So when it comes to manual, they don't really bother about it. So what you find in Nigeria is when people want to change manual gear oil or hard up, or whatever, if there's any need to put oil in their manual gearboxes, Peugeot manual gearboxes, what they don't do, give it to their technicians, probably 4 or 5 liters of oil, and the technician will just keep pouring it, even if the entire 5 liter, he empties the entire container, a quantity of fluid inside that container in the gearbox. As long as the gearbox keeps swallowing this oil or whatever you pour in, that is normal to them. So it's very wrong. That's what I want to point out. Manual gearboxes, just like engine, just like automatic gearbox, they also have their recommended quantity there you are supposed to put in, not the size. People look at the size, but the gearbox is too big. How can you put only 1 liter? It's like saying, oh, but the engine is too big. Why can you put only 4 liters? Because if you want to follow the size of 2.0 liter engine, 3.0 liter engine, you are likely going to end up putting 30 liters of oil. So it's not really about the size of the gearboxes. So it's about what is recommended. People that design it already did it such a way that, okay, this quantity of oil will be enough for the gears inside the gearbox to do their work, while the gearbox because there's supposed to be some space. Everything shouldn't just be filled up with oil, otherwise it's gonna explode. Like the engine designed to breathe, at least so while it's doing its work. So if you fill it up completely, how will you be able to breathe? Even the fuel tank is also designed to breathe. Even as you are pouring the fuel, it doesn't actually fill up that much. If you try to force and fill it up completely, then you are creating problems. You have problems like on the what's it called? The push canister valves. Your PV. I've forgotten the name. There's one canister that works with the fuel tank. So, on Peugeot engine, so you can block it by doing that. Anyway, so back to this video. You are not meant to fill up your gearbox because of that. What now happens is you hear people always complaining that their gearboxes are always leaking. They're always trying to find what is causing leakage on their manual gearboxes. Of course, yes, for the front-wheel drive vehicles, leakage could come from the CV joint sales. Depending on the model of the gearbox. However, most times it's not because of that. It's because someone overfilled, or the gearbox was overfilled. So the oil has to find its way out. So it doesn't matter how long you fill up the oil, you change the seal, keep changing the seal, as long as it's overfilled, you keep shooting the oil out. Whatever, you just look for the weakest parts of the gearbox, which most time will be anywhere that is rubber. So it will push it out. So you keep doing it until it comes to a certain level. So I recommend you follow the manufacturer's instruction. Manufacturer. Okay, if I don't know all the recommended quantity for all Peugeot manual gearboxes, but at least I know, for example, the BM manual gearbox, BM manual gearboxes in 504, 505. I think the maximum you can put is about 1.5. That's recommended. It's 1.5 to 1.6 liters. That's what it takes. So now move to. I'm talking about both the 4-speed and the 5-speeds. They may have different quantities, but I'm saying I think you are not supposed to go beyond 1.6 from the liter, if I could remember correctly. Then 605, I know my 605 V6 takes at that time the manual gearbox. I think the maximum was 2.2 liters. Maximum. for the V6 gearbox, the 5-speed. So then you move on. The ones produced 2000, 2010, and the rest. I will put it this way: the gearboxes that were produced, the 5-speed manual gearboxes, you'll find like in Peugeot 406, 607, 307, 407, what else? 206, all those cars that were produced around that 2000 to 2010. The 5-speed, I think the maximum they should go with, or you should put, is 2 liters. But of course, they have different, like you have 1.8, 1.9. I think the VC is like 1.8. The one for the 4-cylinder engines at like 1.9. So the balance point is at least 2 liters will not cause any damage on any of those gearboxes. If you don't know how to measure up to 1.9, at least don't go beyond 2 liters. Now, within those years as well, these vehicles I mentioned, all their 6-speed gearboxes, the ones that have 6-speed gearboxes, I think the maximum, not I think, I know for a fact, the recommended quantity is 2.6, some 2.4, some 2.6, all depends. So maximum you should do is 2.6 if you are not very sure, as long as it's 6-speed manual transmission. So that is it. So they will have so many of manual gearboxes Peugeot have used in so many models. So I don't have all of them. What I could try and do is maybe whenever I have time, I'll go through the user manuals, the ones I can find, or search for it, list them out, the gearboxes with the recommended quantities. However, most people will actually know their gearbox model, so it might not really make sense. If I can put the models beside those lists, so that if you see this gearbox, okay, you can find it in so and so model. But it could be many other models, Peugeot models that I don't know about, as in that this gearbox will be in that model. So it's up to you now to find out your gearbox model, so that when you see, go to the list, okay, this is yours. So that is it. It's not just leakage, though, because manual gearbox are not, I won't say indestructible. Yeah, you could say indestructible, but when it comes to ruggedness, they are more than the automatic. So most times it won't really cause much damage like that when you overfill them, unlike the automatic that will mess them up. Usually it messes them up once you overfill the automatic gearbox. So the manual, you overfill it, you start acting up. It will find a way to leak. It may damage the seals in the process, so that could be the damage that it could cause. Otherwise, it could be just leakage. It will leak, and that will be it. However, if it stops leaking, it doesn't mean the quantity is has leveled. No, because if it's supposed to be 2 liters, if you put 4 liters, it may leak out until it gets to about 3 liters and stop. So you are supposed to. So this is why I tell people: if you don't know exactly what quantity you have in your gearbox, drain everything. All manual gearboxes, all Peugeot manual gearboxes that come across, that I've used, currently using. For example, this is my Z9 V6 with 6-speed manual transmission. So all of them, they all have drain plug, so you can drain out and top up from a different place, or add oil from a different plug or hole. So they all have. So drain everything, then you measure. That's what. Don't assume that, or if it tells you, but I put it. No, forget that. Drain everything out. Just look for a clean container that can be able to take up to 4 liters. Yes, because it's possible that the what you have there is more than or about 4 liters. So you need one that can, so a container that should be able to take up to 4 liters. If it's less, good for you. If it's more, well, at least you know for a fact. Then everything, then you measure that 1.8 or 1.9 or 2.2 or 2.4 or 2.6 that is recommended, and then pour it. You lock the drain plug, you open the filling plug, pour in the recommended quantity, then that will be all. Hold on, to pass. Yeah, just climb something now. Okay, so that's how I recommend. So go and do it now. Plan for it. Go and do it. For example, there are some cars like BE4 gearboxes, ML, ML gearboxes like ML5T, even the early ML5C. Yeah, those gearboxes, if you overfill them, it will damage the transducer. Transducer is the vehicle speed sensor that is attached on there or plugged in on those gearboxes to damage those sensors. The transducer or the vehicle speed sensor controls your speedometer. So if your model has that sensor on top of it, if you overfill your gearbox, it will damage it. It's as simple as that. Once you put excess quantity, it will damage it. So the best thing is put the recommended quantity. So it's not just like it will leak out, but it may actually damage a part on your gearbox. So it's not good. I would advise you get follow recommended quantity, and then don't leave your gearbox. Don't assume that I know you can use the oil longer than even recommended, but I always tell if you can, especially now that most people don't use the recommended oil for their manual gearboxes. So like what we have in Nigeria is I want to believe is mineral. It's not even the recommended grade. So you are supposed to reduce the change interval. For example, for the 504s, I think the recommended change interval is how many thousands? Is it 15,000? I've forgotten kilometers. So reduce it as much as you can. Maybe you could do 30,000, 10,000. I don't know. No, 10,000 would be too low or too short. So you need to 20, 30. Since it's not the synthetic that they normally come with, like the BE4, ML, gearboxes, and the rest. So these cars are close. Even 508, their manual gearboxes are 6 speed. So I think it's also that 2.6 liters or thereabout, between 2.4 and 2.6 liters. So if you can, I'm not saying drain and throw away. Just drain, confirm the quantity there, then you pour back in. If it's excess, you reduce it, pour back in, so it doesn't damage your gearbox. Since you are not the first user, if you buy the car brand new and you never touch the gearbox, then it's a different matter. But if you are not the first user, when the car was new, it's possible that what you have there is more than it should. It could damage your gearbox or mess up your the sales there, or your wherever you park the car, to litter the oil. The leakage usually happens when the vehicle is moving, is in motion. As the gears are splashing inside, you'll be throwing away the oil via any weak part of the gearbox until the quantity comes down. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Hopefully I'll do another one soon.